Hi folks, this is Karen Moen and welcome to our Valentine's edition of our February community call for the Dynamics 365 community. We're happy to have all of you join us today, and we have a couple special guests. Our main topic for today is portals for Dynamics 365, and we have Corey Christoffel here to walk us through that, and he's going to walk through some slides and also show us a little bit about the portals. So that should be fantastic. And then we're going to spend the last 15 minutes of the session announcing a fast track for Dynamics so that you all understand what that is. Myself, Barb, and Renato, our team, will be in the background answering questions. So if you do have a question, please feel free to post it in the messages, and we'll have Corey and Julia answer questions as well. If we don't get to every question, we'll definitely follow up on our Yammer group and post answers for everything. So without further ado, I'm going to pass on to Corey to give us an update on portals. The floor is yours, Corey.
Thanks, Karen.
You bet.
All right, everyone. I'm going to take the next 30 minutes or so to walk you through portals for Dynamics 365. We'll do a quick level set in a PowerPoint deck here and then walk through a couple of the portals that we have for examples. Do feel free to throw questions into that question window, and we'll try and get to them as we go along. Just as by way of introduction, I am Corey Christoffel. I came to Microsoft with the ADX Studio acquisition about a year and change ago now, a year and 3 months, and I've spent the last while basically being the go-to portals person for training and for some sales engagements. So I'm right now acting as a global black belt for advanced customer service. When we look at the portals acquisition and sort of what portals means to CRM, I'm sure many of you have worked through any number of RFPs where you're required to come up with a portal solution for CRM. Bringing ADX Studio into Microsoft was a fantastic way of extending that storytelling for portals for CRM. And being able to talk really directly to this idea of accelerating customers, partners, and employees engaging with CRM data through a portal that was configured in CRM and managed through both the CRM and the portal UI. It's a really great platform for building out applications, and it's got a number of components pre-built into it. When we look at this slide here, I like to bring this up because it really shows the way that CRM has evolved. When we look at the right side of the slide, this is your typical interactions with CRM, your internal employees and their different interactions through things like email and phone calls and meetings, etc., that they're storing in CRM. But when we look at the sort of left-hand side there, the bottom left, we're really extending those interactions with CRM out through the portals to customers, partners, and even sort of internal employee groups in the case of employee self-service. This broadens the scope of CRM and makes the data in CRM much more relevant as customers are actually interacting in real time with it. When I talk about portals with partners and customers, there tends to be a couple of different trains of thought. One of them is, you could build your own custom portal. This gives you a lot of flexibility as far as what you're going to deliver. And then you've got those that want to just buy something off the shelf and use it exactly as it is. Those are folks that are looking for a help desk solution or a partner solution that's really closely tied with what we have. But I like to take a little bit more of a middle ground when I look at the way that portals works for CRM. Certainly we have those solutions like you'll see in the bottom left corner for partner and community and events, and they're excellent when those customers need exactly that. But most customers actually need a platform for portals for their CRM. And when you consider that platform, what are you looking for? And these are the items I think you're looking for in that sort of middle tier between build and buy, which is you're always going to need some way of getting your users, your external users, authenticated and secured within a portal environment, and we provide that. Every portal is going to need some way of managing personal details, either for the customer directly or the customer and their account. We offer that. We offer an application platform. Every CRM that I've ever seen in production has got some additional component added in. That's one of the great values of CRM, is being able to extend on the XRM platform. And portals goes right along with that idea, allowing you to configure and create new applications in the portal based on that same configuration technique that you're used to with CRM development, and then just adding the portal layer on top of that. When we talk about customer engagement, when we talk about building out a portal, usually they have a particular use case in mind. Often it's a case management or customer self-service. But when we look at the portal itself, making it a bit stickier and adding community is always valuable. Being able to do things like poll your constituent group, allow them to contribute to forums and ideas. These things make the site more active and more valuable to the customer group eventually. All sites need content management. You're going to need some way of managing the page content, some way of creating new content easily and quickly, and even taking advantage of the CRM platform to create dynamic content that responds to the users that are in the portal. We're going to talk through that in our demo. We've also going to need to brand the site and make sure that it works on mobile. And then, of course, and we've made it down to our bottom right here, you're going to need to find some way of delivering a starter solution that gives relevance to the portal out of the box. I've included a couple of slides in this deck that should be helpful, just describing the way that portals work to your customers. Here you'll see this authentication and authorization as one of the core components. This is targeted at the contact record in CRM. So when you're logging into a portal, you're logging in through a contact record, and you can use any number of different authentication offerings that are out there, whether that's local, Active Directory, or a number of social auth options as well, including the OpenAuth and SAML platforms that you can use with portals. Content's going to be editable. We're going to talk through this in detail in the demo. Our design is mobile first. It's built to work on any device. The portals respond to the size of the screen they're being viewed on. So you need to write your content usually one time, and then the content gracefully reflects what device you happen to be on. This is a nice little chart showing the different portals that we have available from CRM portals. You'll see that events is the first one on the list there. It's come out as a private preview item that has been available to a few customers, and we're working through the preview program to get through to to a GA. We've got sales enablement for partners, things like opportunity management and registration, customer and employee self-service, and that's usually connected with a community portal as well, some way of managing a community. And then we've added field service and project service automation data packs in this last release that really link to the different data components of field service and PSA, allowing for customer and partner experiences there as well. I've dropped in an eye chart here for you. This has all of the features of all of the portals in them. The top bar is the features that are available uniquely in each of the portals, and then the bottom bar is sort of all up features across any of the portals that you might be in. And the red items are the spring release components. Some of the big ones there are charts and graphs being made available in portals, as well as multilingual portals. But prior to this last fall release, we had portals that could be deployed in many different languages, but not one portal with many languages in it. We now have that available. All right. One of the questions that came in is, do we integrate with operations? And at this point, we don't. Portals is targeted specifically at Dynamics CRM today. All right. I've got a couple of just quick feature outlines here for the different portals that we offer. Communities. It's usually, like I said, linked with customer self-service, and in the demo we're going to talk through why that's important, but it allows for interaction. It allows for content that's being interacted with by the customer group. So forums, blogs with comments and ratings, polls, and surveys, and ideas, which is a crowdsourced ideas platform for allowing for voting on submitted ideas. Customer service takes that to the deeper level where you're able to submit a ticket into the help desk, and then a full circle item here where you go from searching for content to creating a ticket to, once that ticket is closed, being sent a survey for your satisfaction survey to find out what the results of that ticket were for the customer. We have a partner channel portal that allows for lead distribution, deal registration, either direct or automated, partner account management, basically distributed HR for partners, and opportunity management, so that the partners can submit their own deals, register those, and then work them through to close, all through the portal. And I want to sort of stop and stress this point a little bit. I've mentioned it once already, but this is pretty critical. The portals are a platform for developing custom applications using configuration from CRM. This allows us to build out forms and lists and even custom security permissions for portal users to allow them to work within the portals in a secured way so that they can work with any entity that you've designed into your CRM solution. I might have misstated. Let's bring back. So one question here was, are we able to work with knowledge management inside of the customer service portal? Yes, that is available. It's not on this slide, but certainly knowledge management is there. All right, and now I'm going to switch over to showing my screen and starting up a bit of a demo here. All right, so you should be seeing the Kutoso community site. This is basically the portal out of the box. With every new 30-day trial that you provision, you're actually being provisioned a portal along with that. So certainly feel free to take advantage of that and work with this or play around with it inside your trial. If you go into your trial organization, I might actually just pass this through because we're working with the partner audience. In the CRM admin center, you'll see your instances. If you click on applications, you'll actually see the portal add-on available inside your trial. I have a number of them here. And then within the add-on itself, you can go in and manage your portal and choose what portal you want to load up for your particular instance. It'll ask you for the audience that you're looking for and then which portal you want to use. I've spun up community and partner here for our demo, and right now I'm logged in with the administrative user. Now, when you provision the portal, you actually, the administrative user that you assign gets a contact created for them in the CRM, and you can actually use your Active Directory credentials to log into the portal to edit it. That is still targeting a contact in CRM, but that contact has been given administration privileges. And I'm not going to go into super details here about all the training components we could talk about, but I wanted to give you some heads up so that you guys can get a quick start if you want to work with portals today. So what you're seeing here as I scroll around the site with my mouse, then I'm getting edit buttons appearing in context in a number of different areas. That includes things like managing the header, which in most demos is pretty critical. You want to throw up the customer's logo into the header bar there. We'll also be able to edit the primary navigation. These are spinning for the first time in a bit here, so they'll take a moment to load. Oh, excuse me. There we go. So once you open up an editing window, you're going to see a WYSIWYG editor. This lets you edit any of the content components in that spot. So in this case, the navbar left. We can also insert images or videos with quick clicks here. You just click on the icon and grab an image from the site. If you want to go to a slightly deeper level of content management, you can edit the HTML directly. This allows you to write your own HTML into these windows. You can also embed your own CSS into the site. So all of this is completely configurable or customizable depending on how you consider it. But there are actually 3 levels of content that I like to talk about in portals. The first, of course, is this WYSIWYG editor. The second is the ability to write HTML and CSS. And then for those that can go beyond into a little bit of coding, we have available what's called liquid templating. Liquid templating allows us to use this language called Liquid to render out dynamic components in the site based on the data in CRM. You can template this so you can give your users widgets that they can just embed. So for instance, if I wanted to drop the blog area in, I could just embed that with this include tag, and it gives me a drop down of all the available templates. But if I'm in more of a development mode, I can actually go to the full source and edit this. And I want to bring out a couple of points. One of them is that we don't just render out content from CRM. We can also act on the data in CRM. So you'll see here, if there's a site marker, So we can use if statements. This could be just as easily if there's a customer logged in, or if that logged in customer has a particular role, etc. We have basically dynamic content based on those variables in CRM. And then we can also grab any of the content management components from the CRM and drop those into the areas ourselves. And this has been used to create all kinds of different dynamic content, including a partner dashboard that I'll show you on the partner site in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this dialog. I don't want to change any of this content. You'll see the primary nav here as well. This is an example of the navigation editor where you can drag and drop items in the navigation, create your own navigation items, modify the way that the nav looks and feels very simply. I'm kind of on a shorter timeline today, so I want to make sure that I get through all my points, but I wanted to give you a look at the way that the content management system works here on the portal front side. I'm going to sign out now and take a look at this site as an end user, someone who's coming to the portal for help and needs to get an answer to their problem. If we look on the front side of the site here, you'll see that there's a list of the most popular articles. These are knowledge-based articles in CRM. And if you look at the popular topics, we've got top rated or most recent articles. We've also got direct links to forums and ideas and blogs. If a person wants support, we're going to take advantage of all of the content that we built into the site. So this portal has a blog article posting, so you can post corporate blogs and have comments and ratings on them. We can submit to the forums. We could have asked a question there, and hopefully the community responds to us. We could post an idea, hey, this is broken, I want it fixed, or I have some idea for a new feature or something like that. In fact, if you want an example of the ideas component here, take a look at the CRM ideas website. This is a place where you can go and post new ideas or vote up ideas that have been submitted by others. Certainly feel free to participate here, but also just know this is built on CRM portals today as it sits. But if none of those things actually delivered our solution, we weren't able to find our own answer, we can start our support journey by doing a quick search on the ticket. So this is, printer is very slow, right? So here are some articles that hopefully will answer your question. If there was a blog article or something else that was related, it would also track that back. And if this doesn't solve our problem, we would sign in to create a new ticket. So I'm going to come to the sign in page and just give you a quick overview of what's available in this feature, the sign in and registration feature. When we look at portals, we're often looking at an organization that's already got a number of contacts in their CRM, right? That you don't usually start with a blank slate. So we have an invitation model that will allow you to bring your customers into the portal with a unique code, sending everybody an email with a unique code in it. They can click on that link and bring them to the portal. When they log in with whatever account type you make available, they will then be linked to the contact in the CRM already. So you won't get two of John Smith. You should just get one who's linked back with a single authentication. You can also use invitations to do things like track marketing events. So you can send out a group invitation code or give out an invitation code at a conference or something that would then link them back to that event in the CRM. And we can allow for registration. So if I come here now and just say this is a, frank.com, we'll make our username Frank. Type in our password. We're going to register ourselves for a new account. And of course, no matter how many times you type password 1, you can still somehow get it wrong. All right, so this has just created a brand new contact in the CRM. It brought us to an empty profile because, of course, it's a brand new contact. I'm going to just update that with my name. These fields on that form and any form that you're going to see here are all configurable using just the CRM form configuration that's available out of the box. So you've likely already all used that at some point to manage forms. And again, we're brought to our screen for support. So, printer is slow. We should get, again, some knowledge base answers, and then we'll open a new ticket that represents the problem that we're having. So you'll see again that even though we created a new ticket, it's still going to try and suggest content. It's doing everything it can to deflect us away from creating a new ticket, because tickets cost time and time is expensive. And if we can get self-service to work as the deflection mechanism, then we're in better shape. We're not going to accept that, though. We really do have a problem. It's so slow, I can type faster. All right, and we'll submit. So now this will generate a new case in CRM. If we go back to our case here in the portal, we can see the details that we've put in. Let's throw a comment in here. Hurry up. Right. And we'll even drop in a quick file. There we go. Submit that. And we'll see our details here of our submission with our note that we dropped in. If we go back to CRM on the server side, we'll see our case. There it is. Printer's really slow. And we'll see the default CRM form and the note that we just added, the hurry up. We can go in and actually add another comment back to the customer. We're on our way, type slower. We'll mark that as complete and pass it back to the portal. And then if we look here, I just wanted to give you a quick view of this. You'll see the web edit form in CRM. So this would be the form that you could go in and edit to change the fields that are visible, even adding new fields. This works with any entity in CRM, so you can actually add custom fields or custom entities if you need to. If we come back to the portal and refresh our page, we'll see our timeline update with, type slower on there. We'll close the case. We'll be happy they made it to our house, fixed our printer. And now we're good to go. There's another step to this that we're not going to go through today. That is, once this case is closed, and really any time we take action on the portal, we're subject to workflows being triggered in the CRM. We're really just impacting CRM data the way that you would if you were working from the CRM side of things, except that we're working through one system user. And so when the portal takes an action like closing the case, we can have CRM respond with a workflow trigger that then might send, in this case, it will send a survey to the customer saying, okay, are you satisfied? What was your experience like, etc. You can certainly modify that, but it's just CRM workflow acting because the portal has taken an action for the customer. All right, I'm going to switch over now from the community site to our partner portal. So I've logged into the partner portal as an existing partner, and I'm showing you the dashboard here that's been introduced in fall. So this is not a CRM dashboard like you're used to inside of CRM, but it's leveraging CRM charts and CRM views to pass through a secured chart to the portal, giving the customers a graphical view of the data that's there. And so you'll see the revenue by close date, revenue by time frame, etc. This is all built out using that liquid templating that I showed you a little bit earlier in the content area, but taking advantage of a chart control that we've added. The really important part to this charting tool is that it's secured. There's certainly ways of passing through, say, Power BI embed, just bringing that embed link to the portal, but it's much tougher to secure that experience to a particular portal user. These charts are built on top of our framework for entity permissions and therefore only show data that's relevant to this particular partner. Now in the partner portal, we have three different scenarios today. We have opportunities, which is the sales scenario. So a partner can be passed an opportunity through this distributed opportunities area, where we're seeing we have one opportunity distributed out to us for $25,000, and we can accept that or decline it. We can have our own managed opportunities. These are either opportunities we've accepted from the distribution channel or opportunities we've created ourselves. And we have a customer view, so we can go see the accounts and contacts that we've worked with, that we're the registered partner, and make changes to those if need be. We've also included support here, so that case scenario that you already saw. And then in fall release, we've added PSA, so Project Service Automation has been added, and there's two different scenarios there, one for customers viewing their projects and one for partners who are contributing to the project. And we have field service that leverages the work order entity for customers as well as a number of other entities you can see here in the navigation. These work right with the features as they're already installed in CRM. So you install field service, you can then install field service add-on to the partner portal, and then giving your partners access to that is a simple matter of a web role. All right, the last thing I want to talk about here in the partner channel is the idea of distributed CRM. And that's a term I came up with and I happen to like. It seems to work for this particular scenario. But when I look at the partner portal, it really gives me an idea of some of the potential inside of portals for delivering CRM out to a distributed group. For instance, to the partner group here that we're sharing this portal with. As a partner, if I'm given the right set of permissions, I can view my own account and manage the details of that account. I can manage the other employees that work for my account and are registered in CRM. I can create new ones. So for a distributed HR model where the partners are managing their own employee channel, we can actually allow them to create new employees, to edit the details or remove employees from their list by deactivating them. And we can manage the access level that those people have inside the portal. So here, we'll see that I can go in and click on the manager and change his role in the portal. This will trigger a workflow in CRM that will add this partner employee to a role that will then grant them a specific set of access in the portal itself. This is important not just for a partner channel specific conversation, but also for any sort of customer channels where you're working with a B2B scenario where the customers have their own employees that are working with the portal. And this can be leveraged in any of the sites that we have. All right. So I want to do one more thing. I think I have a few more minutes left before I've broken through the time barrier here. Good stuff. Got about 15 more minutes for the portal side of this conversation. And I'm going to take that 15 minutes to show you some of the platform for entity applications. This is how we built out Project Service Automation and Field Service in the partner portal. There's actually no server-side code behind the scenes here that's delivering these features. It's all been delivered through configuration. All right. So I'm going to go into the partner CRM that I had loaded up, and I'm going to walk you through one of the apps here from Field Service or PSA. I just want to refresh this to get a live page. Oh, that's lovely. All right. So when I consider a portal application, I usually look at it in three parts. The first part is security. What are the portal users going to be allowed to see? And how am I going to manage that with the relationships that are available in CRM? What forms do I need to have for input or edit? And then what list view do I want to present to the customer to show them the data that they have access to? And I usually do it in that order. The first part of this is usually going to be an entity permission. How do I control access that somebody might have to the entity that they're going to work with? So in this case, let's just take opportunity for the example. This permission that you're seeing, access to assigned opportunities, is going to show a person the opportunities that they're directly linked with by this relationship, MSA contact opportunity. This is a really simple system to use. It allows you to just grab from a drop-down list of all the available entities in CRM, whether they're custom entities or pre-built. So I'm going to just choose opportunity. I can choose a scope. So I can give global scope. So if you're considering how would you use global scope in a portal, maybe a list of stores that everybody in the portal should see. Or we can do a contact scope where my contact is directly related to those records, where my parent account is directly related to those records. So consider a contact who's working on the opportunities within his account. You would give parental or account access. And then parent lets us give access within a permission. So here we're seeing the parent access actually being granted. Show all activity pointers, annotations, and portal comments where we have access to the opportunity as the parent. It's a really powerful system, and because it's so flexible and just configured here, we can use this across any entity in CRM that's been there. Once we have our entity permissions created, we need to add them to a web role. Web role is our way of grouping up all different kinds of permissions and then applying them to a particular contact or group of contacts or an account. And so you'll see a number of roles here. Each of these roles contains many different rules. And then once we've done that, we're basically done with our security scenario. The next thing we need to do is build out a form. So if we look at the create opportunity form or opportunity details, let's go there. We're going to get a similar looking UI as far as the drop-down items for picking the form and the entity we're working with. And then a number of different attributes that I'm not going to go into super detail about today because we don't have quite enough time to go all the way down that list. But you'll see again, we can choose from any entity in CRM, any form on that record. And this is where you'll write a custom, usually a specific form just for the web UI that you can modify. So see the details web form here. That's going to be specific to the portal. This is going to be in the edit mode. The source is going to be a query string, and it's going to be on the website for Partner Portal. We'll turn permissions on. And then I'm just going to sort of give you some of these components in groups. We've got a number of different options around the different validations you might want to add, including things like setting the recommended fields as required, or choosing different labels for things like instructions, etc. We can have portal actions for these records. So things like setting up the win and lost opportunity workflows, creating your own custom workflow that can be triggered from the portal. So for instance, you might submit for approval. That might be a custom workflow. Basically, any on-demand workflow related to opportunity would be available to you here as a button on the portal. When we're working with portals, we want to be able to track which portal users are actually doing the action. So we allow you to associate the current portal user on close. We can add file attachments. We can pull geolocation from the device that the person is on if they approve it, and then track that location detail in the form. So for things like government scenarios or local gov, that was really handy. And then we've got a number of metadata components that we won't go into depth here. Once you've got your form designed, you're going to build out a list, and that list is going to bring all of this together into one nice little app on the portal front side. So if we look at managed opportunities as our list. So at this point, we've made it to having the forms visible for this, so the create form and the edit form. Now we're going to look at how this list gets put together. And of course, these items are showing up here because of the permissions that I already created. Here's our list. Again, we chose opportunity. We can add one or more views to this list. So for instance, in the example of the support tickets, we had a drop down here that showed a couple of different potential views. And this is going to pull both the filtering from that view and the columns that are going to appear in the portal. And I think they're all the same in this particular scenario, but you can set it up to have different columns available as you go along. And so there's our list. And if we go back to the CRM, here's where we would add those items. We can add pages for details or create. We can turn permissions on. We can enable search with just one checkbox, and this will search the list that's returned. We can set up static conditions like the portal user or the account, or we can set up metadata filtering to allow for all kinds of different filters to be added based on the data that's in that list. We can put all of the items on the list in a map. So if you've got location details on your records, you can drop the items into a map view. And we actually also have a little productivity helper that will take address information and parse that into lat and long so that you can drop those items onto the map. And that just requires a Bing Map license to go along with it. Calendar view, so if your items have dates associated, you can drop them into a calendar. You can feed all of the data in the list out to OData. This is a less secure way of doing this, but it will provide you a way of consuming that data into other sources from the portal. Both forms and lists can have custom JavaScript applied to them. So one thing that's usually a question that comes up is, does my configuration on the forms in CRM pass through to the portal for things like JavaScript, etc. Plugins work, but the JavaScript is in the wrong domain. So you can actually write your own JavaScript for the portal right in line here in the form. You can configure the grid. This will load up in just a second to provide these different options here, like create or export to Excel, edit, and then those workflow actions like register that we had in the portal here. And then once you add that list to a web page, you're basically good to go, and things will light up for you. So that's just a quick short view of the content management system, some of the out-of-the-box applications, and then this idea of extending the portals to include new custom apps. And that's really the demo I wanted to get through. I'm going to just check through a couple questions here and make sure that I've answered them, and then I'll pass this back to our partner team. So I think we'll handle any additional connection here through the Yammer group. So if you've been to the partner Yammer group, that's a great way to get started, getting your questions answered, and we'll sort of work on it as a team. There's a question here related to being able to spin up a portal from the Microsoft demo site. At this point, I haven't seen any details about a timeline there, and I'm not on that team. However, if you need a portal on a demo in the demo site, if you go to managedcrmtrials.com, CRM managed trials, sorry, .dynamics.com. You can come here and request a trial key for portals. This will give you a portal that will work with your trial, and they're usually pretty responsive. I think it's about a day or two to get that turned around and get you a key into your inbox. Once you've got your key, the easiest way to use it is to take that activation link and copy and paste it into a browser where you're already logged in the environment that you want to use. That's the simplest way to make sure that it gets applied to the correct demo environment. All right, let's see. I've got another question here. The portal environment allows customers to build a sales information solution, but no actual transaction processing. How can I use the other components of 365 to provide order processing scenarios? That is a great question. It's something that's coming up a lot. I know that it's certainly a backlog of features. At this point, the best I've seen is that customers have sort of lit up their own Azure application that they pointed to from the portal with custom development in it. We don't have an out-of-the-box sort of transaction processing scenario in the box yet, but we'll be looking for it at some point. All right, I think those are the questions that I have at this point. I'll pass it back to Karen.
Yeah, Corey, I think there's one more here. So it's the portal environment allows a customer to build a sales information solution, but no actual transaction processing. And then how can I use other components of Dynamics 365 like financials to provide order processing scenario? I know earlier we addressed that portals does not integrate with operations. I would assume the answer is the same for financials, but any comments on that question?
Yeah, that was the one I was just sort of trying to answer. Maybe I didn't give a great one, but the idea is with CRM portals, one of the limitations that we have at this point is that because it's a SaaS offer, you can't write any custom code, so you can't do custom integrations. One thing you can do is build out sort of a PO request or something into the portal, and then flow that integration through CRM into the other systems. Another way you might do it is to write a custom web application outside of the portals and link to it through, link that custom portal to your CRM portal, just with the navigation that's available there. The last question I have here is show assigning web roles. I have not been able to edit a portal page even after assigning contact the administrator role. One thing that I'll mention here, so certainly assigning roles is quite straightforward. I'm guessing if you've already done that, it'll be exactly what you did the first time. But going into the administrator role here on the partner portal, you can do this from either the contact or from the account, or from the web role. So I'm going to go to the contacts area, and you'll see I've got a few contacts in that role. What might happen, and has happened in the past for me, is that the caching system that the portals have is asynchronous, and some things don't cache properly for a while. If you're feeling impatient, which I often am, if you come to the portal applications here, there are portal actions that you can take. This is a bit of a blunt force trauma solution to my portal's not acting the way I expect it to act, but it will solve the problem typically. So if you've done the correct action in the CRM by adding the administrator to the role, you can restart your portal here, restart it, and then I'll actually do it just to prove that it works. You press the restart button twice, and then come back to your portal. This could take a few minutes because that's also an asynchronous process, but eventually you're going to get a 503 error, which mostly you don't want to see in a demo, but today this is doing exactly what I want. And you recycle this until you get a new portal to light up. This is going to basically recycle the IIS website behind the scenes and get you all new information from CRM. So that's going to take a few minutes to load, and then that's expected, potentially 2 or 3 questions, or 2 or 3 minutes, to wait for that all to come back around. But that will give you the latest version of what's in CRM. All right.
Great. Fantastic. I think we covered most of the questions, Corey, and maybe if we have additional ones, you could just stay on for the next 15 minutes and we'll answer some of those. But without that, thank you so much, Corey. That was a fantastic overview of portals. And now we've got Julia Fu with us, and she's going to talk a little bit about a fast track for Dynamics. This is, many of you might be familiar with our fast track program that's been available for Office 365, and in the past, it's now been extended to Dynamics, and we're offering some services around that. So Julia's going to show that. And Julia, would you like to go ahead and share your slides? We'll make sure that comes up, and I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Karen. I just started sharing my slides. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it just fine myself, so it looks good.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. This is Julia Fu. I'm Senior Product Marketing Manager in Dynamics 365, focusing on customer experience. So I will use the next 10-15 minutes to provide a quick overview about the recently announced Fast Track for Dynamics 365. Wanted to start with a little bit history about the Fast Track. As some of you might be familiar or have heard about this program actually is not new in terms in the context of Microsoft Cloud Services. It was originally introduced by Office 365 back in 2013. So the main reason they introduced this is actually to help customers accelerate and streamline their efforts to onboard to Office 365. Then they introduced adoption services as part of Fast Track as well to drive usage. The program has been very successful. Based on that, we expanded Fast Track back in 2015 and 2016 to support EMS. This year, Windows 10 and Dynamics 365 together, we actually introduced the program for those 2 new technologies. Actually, this year, beginning of this year, we made a big public announcement to position Fast Track as our Microsoft customer success service for the cloud to help our customer accelerate onboarding and speed user adoption. This is a quick high-level slide summarize what is Fast Track. As I mentioned earlier, it's our customer success service for the Microsoft Cloud. It's available free as part of the customer purchase or subscription as long as they meet the eligibility criteria. it is providing a unique benefit to Microsoft customers. In fact, it is also available for as many times as needed to support them throughout their journey. Where you can see here, on January 23rd, we probably announced two previews, one for Windows 10 and one for Dynamics 365. For Dynamics 365 specifically, we brought our H1 pilot to scale through engineering-led engagement for onboarding assistance. This comes with a new web presence, including success plans available at fasttrack.microsoft.com. In this preview, customer will be able to get nominated by Microsoft Com team. Partners can also nominate your customers through your Microsoft contacts as well. So in this preview, we'll continuously look at ways to improve the experience and streamline our processes to always better meet the needs of our customer and the partners. So the participation from partners is key to the success, customer success, also the key to the success of Fast Track program. Fast Track represents an exciting opportunity for our partners. By leveraging best practices and the guidance offered directly by the Microsoft Fast Track engineering team, you can enhance your engagements with customers through Fast Track. And you can also help accelerate deployments by helping customers make a smooth transition to Dynamics 365. In addition, you are able to expand your capabilities through real-time readiness and enablement by interacting directly with Microsoft engineering team. And also you can increase customer satisfaction by driving predictable and repeatable deployments to the cloud. Participation in the Fast Track program also will help you to strengthen the partner-customer relationship by focusing on offering high-value added service to your customers. So we are very excited about the opportunity Fast Track for Dynamics 365 offers you to accelerate the business success. Now let me talk about who are actually eligible for the full Fast Track services. Currently, we cover Dynamics 365 Enterprise Edition, as you can see here, both the plans and the apps. Business Edition is not covered right now by Fast Track. For sales, field service, customer service, project service automation apps, customers need to purchase the minimum of 250 seats to be eligible. For operations app, 150 is the minimum number of seats for full Fast Track services. Let me share with you a little bit about what we offer through Fast Track for Dynamics 365. As I mentioned earlier, Fast Track for Dynamics 365 is our customer success service designed to help customers move to Dynamics 365 smoothly and confidently so they can realize business value faster. The focus of this preview launch is onboarding. So we provide tailored programs for Dynamics 365 Enterprise Edition apps. The services are provided by Fast Track engineers and the solution architects. Our engineering resources are time zone based, and we cover the major markets in Americas, EMEA, and APAC. How we work together with customer and the partners through Fast Track. This is a quick summary slide to just give you some example, understanding how and the Fast Track programs complement, not to replace its implementation services. Here we are helping our implementation partners to help by providing best practices and the guidances. In fact, engagement with an implementation partners is a prerequisite for Fast Track for Dynamics 365 engagement. if you look at the list on the right, all the traditional implementation activities for customers and partners will continue. We are here to help by sharing best practices and guidance whenever needed. We have application-specific engagement framework that is comprised of technical talks, workshops, and touchpoints. Actually, I will share a little bit information in the next slides of each of this type of sessions. We offer those sessions at appropriate stage of the project. We also ask that our customers and partners to identify the topics to cover during the engagement that are specific to your projects and your challenges. So our fast-track engineers and the solution architects through the engagement can provide expertise on the latest features and functionality and the guidance based on the roadmap. In addition, engineers' direct engagement with our customer will provide invaluable feedback for our products and the services. Now let me share with you a little bit about the 3 types of sessions we offer throughout the engagement. Technical talk, those focusing more on knowledge transfer and learning. So they are customized technical briefings on a selected set of topics designed to help customers optimize the value from the solution, as well as address commonly asked questions. It can include migration topics or application lifecycle management as examples. Workshop, those are highly interactive and focus on the unique customer context, aimed at providing guidance on design and architecture challenges our customers and partners are facing when and where needed. The 3rd type of sessions we offer is regular touch points. It could be based on like a monthly cadence or the regular cadence would meet customers and partner project needs. This focus more on keeping customers on track and helping remove roadblocks. These meetings are designed to check in on the customers and partners proactively to address any concerns and questions. They are also designed to keep the customer unblocked during the implementation so they can realize the value from the solution as quickly as possible. To provide the best experience to our customers and partners, we work with you to customize an engagement by leveraging the service from the portfolio to meet your needs. Now I want to share with you some of the things you can do and some of the resources you can refer to if you need more information. We have made FastTrack overview content available on fasttrack.microsoft.com and also PartnerSource FastTrack page. So what I shared in the past 10 minutes, actually the information you can find on PartnerSource, and you can also find like customer pitch deck, overview deck on PartnerSource FastTrack page as well. FastTrack, a key benefit and selling point you should highlight in your conversation with customers. It definitely will help to sell. So please pitch to your potential customer as possible. And for any eligible customers, please work with your Microsoft team for nomination. And if you have any questions, inquiries, here's the email address on the screen. You can reach out. So that's the quick overview for FastTrack for Dynamics 365. Feel free to reach out for any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Julia. That was fantastic. We do have a couple questions. Are you okay to answer those?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Let me just quickly look at a question. I think what I see here, the first question is for EMEA in Middle East. What's the support local in Saudi Arabia? I think we have resources in EMEA can cover a customer there. So if you have a specific customer, you see the opportunity, feel free to send an email to this email address so we can work with you. So the next question I see here is the eligibility threshold seems to favor large SMB opportunities. Is there anything planned for the smaller prospects fast track engagement, or is it reserved personal only? I think my understanding is regarding the eligibility threshold. So currently, because of the capacity we have, so this is the minimum seats we think we can fulfill when we have requests in for fast track. So as I mentioned, we're in the preview process. So we will look at the volume we get in the engagement, and we might adjust when we go GA. So hopefully this answers your question.
Great. Thanks, Julia. Yeah, we had another question was what is available for customers under 250 seats? And I think that you've addressed that one, that we're in preview, so we're setting that limit, but it may be adjusted in the future, correct?
Yes. Yeah, correct.
One last question here, and then we'll wrap up. Are there any incentive funding for Fast Track for Dynamics 365?
So there's no funding, but this actually this is a benefits customer get for free as long as they meet the eligibility criteria. So I think it's already quite a incentive for them, or give them motivation to be part of the program. And in addition to that, I just want to reemphasize is that so customer and the partners will be able to directly engage with Microsoft engineering team during the engagement. I think it's a huge benefit to both partners and customers.
Great, fantastic. Well, I think that we've gotten all the questions. So thank you very much, Julia, for that overview. And again, thanks, Corey, for the overview of portals. Want to thank all the partner folks out there who have joined us today for our February community call. If you have additional questions that come up after this, please feel free to ask them to our team on our Yammer group, and we'll work with Julia and Corey to answer them. You also can go back to the event link if you want to re-listen to the recording, or if someone else wants to listen to it, they can go ahead and do that. And we also post the recording on our YouTube channel, and we'll share that within our Yammer group, or reach out to us via 1v1. That posting to YouTube does generally take a couple days to happen. So with that, I want to thank everybody for joining this month, and we'll hope you'll be back next month. Thanks so much.